April 19th, 2007. The town of Ridgway, Colorado, nestled at the base of the San Juan Mountains, woke up to a morning cloaked in mist and anticipation. Ridgway was the kind of place that felt suspended in time. Old brick buildings, a single stoplight, and a tight-knit community where everyone waved to everyone else. At Ridgway Middle School, excitement buzzed through the halls. It was the annual 8th grade trip to Ironwood Caverns, a natural cave system hidden deep in the mountains, long closed to the public but recently reopened after years of restoration. 14 students, accompanied by science teacher Mr. Daniel Keller, boarded the bus around 7 a.m. Their itinerary: explore the caves, study the rock formations, have lunch by the creek, and return by 5 p.m. But they never came back. When the bus failed to return, parents began calling the school. Calls to Mr. Keller's cell went straight to voicemail. The park rangers at Ironwood hadn't seen or heard from them. By nightfall, a search and rescue team was dispatched. The bus was found, parked perfectly in the Ironwood visitor lot. Empty. There were no signs of struggle. The tires were intact. Inside, backpacks remained neatly arranged in the overhead bins. Mr. Keller's clipboard sat on the dashboard. The logbook indicated they had signed in at 9:12 a.m. Then, nothing. No footprints. No scuff marks leading into the forest. The trail cameras at the cavern's entrance showed nothing after that morning. It was as if the entire group had simply vanished. Local authorities searched for weeks. Drones scanned the region. Volunteers combed the trails. National media caught on. Theories ran wild: bear attack, landslide, kidnapping. Some whispered about the legend of Ironwood Hollow, a rumored dead zone in the forest where compasses failed and people went missing. The hollow, once dismissed as campfire lore, was suddenly on every tongue. After 3 months, the case went guilty. The parents, devastated, formed support groups. A small monument with the names of the children, and Mr. Keller was erected outside the school. Years passed, and Ridgway tried to move on. April 2025. 18 years to the day. A powerful earthquake, magnitude 6.4, rattled the San Juan Mountains. It was the strongest quake in the region in over a century. The epicenter, just 2 miles from Ironwood. Caverns. The shaking caused a rock slide that collapsed part of the mountain near the old cave entrance. When rescue crews arrived to inspect the damage, they discovered something shocking. A new entrance, previously unknown, hidden beneath the debris. It led to an untouched chamber deep within the earth. Inside were strange markings, not graffiti but carved symbols, ancient and unfamiliar. But that wasn't the most shocking part. In the far corner of the chamber, propped neatly against the wall, were 14 backpacks, covered in dust but preserved. Inside, lunches, notebooks, cameras, all untouched since 2007. And then they found the journal, a leather-bound notebook, brittle but legible. The first page was signed. Daniel Keller, April 19th, 2007. What followed was a record of terror, confusion, and the impossible. Something is wrong. The walls keep changing. It's been 2 days, but we can't find our way out. The children are scared. I'm trying to keep them calm. We hear sounds, voices, whispers, but there's no one there. I mark the path with chalk. The marks vanish. Doors appear where there were none. Time doesn't feel right. My watch stopped and no one seems to remember how long we've been here. I saw one of the kids, Jess, standing in 2 places at once. She looked at herself and screamed. Then they both vanished. We are not alone down here. There's something watching, learning. The walls breathe. The journal ended abruptly on May 3rd, 2007. A final sentence scrawled hastily. They want to understand what we are. We're the field trip. News exploded. Media vans returned to Ridgeway. The parents, now older and hardened by years of loss, returned to the site. The government sealed off the new chamber. An investigation was launched. Scientists, cryptographers, and even historians were called in to analyze the markings and artifacts. The symbols etched on the walls bore no resemblance to any known language, but they seemed to change position when unobserved. Then came the video. One of the student cameras, a cheap 2007 camcorder, miraculously had a working SD card. The footage was grainy, but intact. It showed the kids exploring the cave, laughing, joking. Then a sudden rumble, lights flickering, screams. The last frame showed Mr. Keller turning back toward the camera, face pale, whispering, "Don't let them open." The door. And then, static. Weeks later, strange reports emerged from Ridgeway. Locals spoke of lights in the sky, humming sounds beneath the earth, animals behaving erratically. A hiker claimed to see a girl in outdated clothes standing by the old trailhead, who vanished when he approached. Then the impossible happened. On May 12, 2025, just before dawn, a ranger doing routine patrol near Ironwood froze in shock. 14 children were walking out of the forest, disoriented, dirty, alive. They were the same kids who vanished 18 years earlier. Only they hadn't aged a day. Medical tests confirmed. Same DNA, same dental records. No signs of malnutrition or injury. Their stories were fragmented, dreamlike. They spoke of endless hallways, of rooms that moved, of voices teaching them things without words, of memories that didn't feel like their own. They described learning in ways humans couldn't fathom, absorbing knowledge through light, solving puzzles that shifted reality. They called it the classroom. They remembered Mr. Keller guiding them, comforting them. Then one day he was gone, replaced by something that wore his face but wasn't him. They called it the other teacher. The children remembered a door, always locked, until the day it wasn't. They walked through, and then they were back. But they weren't the same. All 14 showed advanced cognitive abilities, solving complex mathematical equations, speaking multiple languages, demonstrating eidetic memory. One girl, Mara, drew a map of the cave from memory. When compared to sonar scans, it was accurate down to the inch, including passages still undiscovered. The government relocated the children and their families. A special facility was built for them under the guise of rehabilitation and reintegration. But things didn't stay quiet for long. 3 months later, one of the children vanished from her locked room. Security footage showed a flash of light and then nothing. Another followed. The rest began drawing the same symbol, a spiral with 3 eyes, and speaking the same phrase in an unknown language. Linguists finally translated it. The lesson is not over. Ironwood Caverns has since been resealed. The government denies all involvement. Ridgeway is quiet again. But deep beneath the earth, something still waits, and class is in session.